This video is on how to make decisions using a values hierarchy. And this is going to be most useful, especially for maybe like bigger life decisions, more complex things, but you can also kind of even use it for, I don't know, planning out your week or deciding what you're going to do if you're going to take a trip or go do this little thing. So it can be quite useful. And I've used this now with hundreds of people in my work in happiness research and training, as well as read about it in a couple books on the psychology of desire and of wanting. And it really goes like this, right? So a lot of the time when we're making like complex, difficult decisions, it's almost like how do we even start to decide? Or we're choosing which career to go into, or maybe what to study, or we're later in our career and we're making a career switch, or we're thinking about, should I take this big promotion and move across the country? And what I've found is that simply just making a list of values is a very effective protocol for this. So now down below, I've included a link to a tool that I've made that helps you walk through this, and basically 3 steps. You go through and you have all these different things, and by the end you have a list of your top 5 values. But you can also use this without a digital tool. You can basically just take some time and spaciousness to reflect and think about, like, what, if I were to ask you, what is most important to you? What would you say? And so it can be a few words, it can be one word at a time, whatever. But basically you want to have a list that is well thought out, it's clear, and there's, let's say, 3 to 5 values. So you have that list, and then where it becomes quite useful is then you use that list as almost like a lens or a filter through which to process decisions. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm deciding between keeping my job where I'm making like 6 figures, working in management at a really big company, or going off and starting my speaking and training business. So I know my top 5 values are intention, discipline, learning, energy, and happiness. And I'd probably throw like relationships into that last one, number 5, because relationships bring me a lot of happiness. So I have that list in front of me, and I can again use that as a criteria set for thinking through each one. So, okay, I've got this job which has really good financial security, and it's not really that much work. And so, I don't know, the discipline one isn't really impacted. Now I know that the speaking and training one will allow me to be a little bit more intentional with my time because I'm doing the stuff that I really care about. Okay, what was the third hierarchy? We talked about then learning is very important to me. Not a huge trade-off there, but I probably spend a little bit more time learning in my speaking and training one. Energy, well, again, not a huge difference there, but because I'm working probably slightly more hours on the corporate big management job, that means I'll probably have less time left over to invest in things like exercise, getting sufficient sleep, getting outside and getting sunlight, right, which are all biological pillars for energy. And then the last one, relationships, in either case, doesn't really have that big of an effect. So when I think through that hierarchy, I say, okay, well, the speaking and training option, going and doing that on my own, will allow me to be more intentional. It will help me to learn at a faster rate, and it will probably allow me to have a little bit more time left over to reinvest back in my physical energy, which I know is important to me. Okay, so on basically the other 2, it's not a huge difference. But so 3 out of my 5 values are more aligned with that. I'm probably going to go with that. And so same thing if you're thinking through like a career transition, and I know I'm working with someone on this right now who says, look, my top like 2 or 3 things I'm looking for are, I want the work to be interesting, but I also want to be close to home and work-life balance. And so I say, okay, well, that's really important to know, because then if you're offered the coolest freaking job ever with a $250,000 salary, but it requires moving across the country and working 50 hours a week, you probably shouldn't go with that job. And so what you do is you have that list, and let's say we use this example again of work-life balance is important. It has to be close to Nashville, in this case, where that person lives, and they want it to be interesting. Again, simple. You can basically write out a list of 4, 5, 6, 7 industries that you find interesting. Talk to a few people in those industries about work-life balance, and if it's pretty good work-life balance, that narrows down your list. And then finally, you have a few example companies, and you just look up, XYZ type companies in the Nashville area. right? So again, what this is all about is taking what sometimes we're faced with these really big decisions and we don't even really know where to start. Or even worse, we just kind of make a snap judgment like, oh, that salary's so big, I got to take that. Or, I got to go straight into banking because that's what all the people do in our prestigious careers. The idea here is to pause and have a set of heuristics, a sort of hierarchy to actually process the decision so that you make the right decision and you don't realize 1 year, 2 year, 10 years later that you look back and realize that you made the wrong decision because you have not lived a life in alignment with your values and alignment with what is most important to you. So there you have it. I hope you implement this protocol. All you have to do to really do it is you can use that digital tool I shared below or make your own list of 3 to 5 really core values and just keep that somewhere handy. You don't have to see it every single day, right? But you want to have it somewhere readily accessible so that when you're facing decisions, right, even if it's something small like, I don't know, planning out your month ahead, or of course, bigger decisions, should I go to graduate school or should I pursue my career or should I change careers, whatever, that you actually have a list that will help you to make a decision that is most effective for you and what matters to you. So thanks for watching this video. Here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. And as always, you can find practical tools and insights on this channel from the art and science of happiness to help you be at your best. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.